Hey everybody, Mike Norman here. So, the question I have for today is, what about all that dollar printing? The debasing of the dollar, remember that? All the dollar bears telling us that the central bank was printing money, right? For the last 4 years, starting in 2008, when the Fed began all of its extraordinary measures to save the financial system, which we now find out from data, published data now that has been made publicly available, that the Fed actually lent out, printed over $29 trillion over that course of time. Well, what happened to the US dollar? Well, if you look at the dollar index, that's the widely followed index of the dollar bears themselves. The dollar index over that course of time that the Fed had printed $29 trillion, the dollar index has gone up. It did not go down. The dollar index is higher now than where it was back in 2008 when the Fed's balance sheet was a measly 800 billion. Now the balance sheet is almost 3 trillion. The ECB's balance sheet almost over more than 3 trillion, I should say. So central banks have been printing money. The Fed has been printing money. The total amount lent out by the Fed over that course of time, over nearly $30 trillion printed. But what happened? The dollar went up. And gosh, just look at gold too, huh? That was supposed to be the great inflation hedge. Well, yeah, it is up relative to where it was in 2008, but wasn't gold supposed to be the safe haven against financial and economic turmoil? Well, guess what? Now gold is crashing, absolutely collapsing, and proving itself to be once again a very bad hedge against inflation. Just a very bad hedge in general. What's the first asset that anybody sells when it needs to have dollars? Is gold. It's easy to sell. So all of these so-called, ideas about money printing and debasing of the currency that so many of these dollar bears and gold bulls have been putting out there for so long, they're totally wrong. It's gone in the total opposite direction. And by the way, alongside the dollar as the best asset, in fact beating the dollar itself as the best asset over that course of time, guess what that was? You got it, U.S. Treasuries, and that continues to be the case today, where we see 10-year Treasury note yields down at 1.9%, 30-year Treasury bonds at 2.94%. Come on, folks. And by the way, every single one of the auctions that we've seen recently have been oversubscribed by a factor of 7 or 8 or 10 times. Come on, folks. When are these people going to wake up? When are you going to wake up? That whole dollar bearishness and printing money, that's all a bunch of baloney. The markets are screaming that loud and clear, and they have been for a long time.